the next fighter you're looking to build into a pay-per-view star. Sometimes the process has been a little bit difficult and bumpy with Teofimo Lopez. What's the big plan for his return in 2024?
I think Teofimo will be coming back, I think in February. We have a big platform for him in Las Vegas the week of the Super Bowl, because as you know, next year, this season in February, the Super Bowl will be played at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And so the week leading up to the Super Bowl is a massive week because everybody is in the place where the Super Bowl is taking place in Las Vegas this season. And we have a great platform for Teofimo on the week of Super Bowl week, where every big sports person will be in town, and he'll be defending his title on that date, and that will be a way to really advance Teofimo into big, massive fights the rest of 2024.
And it sounds like the plan is that Thursday, February 8 against Jamaine Ortiz. Is that correct?
That is right. That's what we're working on. I think we're practically finalized with that. And Keyshawn Davis, who's another up-and-coming but a younger star, really a step-up, tough fight with Jose Pedraza. So, again, I really think that our matchmakers will use February 8th as a platform to launch so many of our talented kids who will be on that card. I mean, I think the Vargas kid, Emiliano Vargas, is on that card. I think he's a terrific prospect. And Abdullah Mason. We have a lot of good young kids who will be breakout stars in 2024.
Yeah, you guys did a fantastic job using that Formula One fight week, and I'm sure the plan is the same to do it the same for Super Bowl week. Unfortunately, for the Formula One fight week, Shakur Stevenson didn't live up to his end of the bargain with a spirited, punishing performance. Does that perhaps present some sort of a promotional problem for you when his fights don't live up to his star quality?
That always happens. I have such a history of boxing promoting superstars, and sometimes for one reason or another, they don't live up to their billing. Now, in Shakur's case, he had ailments because he trained overtrained. He loves to be in the gym, but he hurt his hand, he hurt his shoulder, and our office was constantly taking him to different doctors to patch him up. So I don't think DeSanto's a pretty good fighter, but I don't think we saw the best of. Didn't see the best of Shakur. And indeed, the kid called me up the morning after the fight to apologize for his performance. But I quite understand what was happening, because for the weeks leading up to the fight, we didn't know if he could even make the fight.
Mm-hmm. And the future is very bright for him. 135-pound WBC champion right now. I know you could stage that fight with Vasily Lomachenko perhaps overnight, and further build up Shakur's star, or have Vasily go into one last run into his Hall of Fame career. But I think the fight a lot of fans want to see is Shakur versus Tank Davis, or Tiafimo versus Tank Davis, or even Lomachenko versus Tank Davis. Well, what can Top Rank promise in 2024 as to being in business with the likes of a Tank Davis and matching up one of your fighters with him?
Well, Tank Davis is an excellent fighter, and he's a big attraction. So sure, we would like to match any of the guys that you've mentioned against Tank Davis and see how well they would do. I like our guys to win the fight, but that's why they do the fights, right? So again, we're open to any of that, and the way it'll probably happen, the way everything is happening, is the Saudis, who the guy in charge, His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, is a big boxing fan and reads all of the stuff that comes out around the world about boxing, including your column. And so when he reads this, he may decide that he wants to do that fight in Saudi after Ramadan and do it this summer, one of those fights, and cut the checks to the fighters. And that ends any kind of discussion of who gets what percentage.
But if, let's say, the Saudis are not interested and it's you and Mayweather Promotions who has to put this fight together, Team Tank is very adamant that they're the A side, they're the ones who dictate the terms. How do you feel about moving forward along those lines?
Well, the stuff about A side and dictating terms, that's total and complete nonsense. I mean, the terms are once you settle on the money, because if the fight is not with the Saudis and there's percentages, you work out the percentages, then everything else is easy. Everything else is nonsense. You know, who gets introduced first, who comes in first. I mean, that should be a 5-minute discussion. But again, if we start talking about A side and B side, then nothing gets happened